wearing a billowy pale dress, which floats about her as she slowly moves one way, then turns and moves the next. Up and down the length of the garden she goes. But every time she turns, it's with her face away from me, so that I can't tell if she's young or old, a stranger or someone I might know. The longer I study her, standing there with a hand curled around the windowsill, the more something doesn't seem right about the way she's moving. It takes me a few more moments to place it, and when I do, I catch my breath. She's gliding. She moves as if she were walking on air. It's not a natural movement, and my skin prickles. The shopkeeper's sensational warning about ghosts suddenly doesn't seem so silly or impossible. I watch her another few moments, holding my breath. That's all she does, glides back and forth, the pale silk of her dress billowing out behind her despite the lack of breeze. My legs are jelly and my heart pounding, but I won't be able to go back to bed and sleep a wink so long as I know she's out there. I have to go out and set my mind at ease. Silently, I tiptoe through the house and to the back door. I take a deep breath before pushing the door open. Tentatively, I step outside and peer into the thick night air. There's nothing there. The garden, just visible in the moonlight, with its thirsty shrubs and prickly flower stalks, sits benignly in the yard, returning my vacant stare in equal measure. But there's no woman. My knees go weak with relief, and I have to brace myself against the door. I could laugh. It was someone snooping about, and they heard me coming and fled. In the morning, I'll have to let Joe know that we might need a guard dog, or, at the very least, a fence. I go back upstairs, climb into my bed, and, with a body made weary with relief, drift off to sleep. I don't know who's more excited to hear Mr. Barrett's light knock at the door the next day. Snip howls in delight and skids through the hall, circling Ada's heels as she tries to open the door, Emeline trotting close behind with her half-braided hair falling out of its ribbon. Catherine lays aside the limp roses and lilies she's been arranging and passes a light hand over her curls. Sitting up a little straighter, I put my book down. I wish Mother had asked me to do the flowers. I always make a mess of them, but at least it would be me looking flushed and pretty when Mr. Barrett is shown in, a white rose stem in my hand. As it is, I'm bone-tired from my bad dream last night. Because that's what it was, I've decided. A dream. Somewhere in that hazy margin between sleep and wakefulness, I must have thought I saw something. In the light of day, and now that Mr. Barrett is here, it all seems far away and unimportant. He's not hugely tall, but when Mr. Barrett walks in, it feels as if the walls and ceiling fall away around him. He fills the room with his quiet force, as electrifying and still as the moment before a storm breaks. Even Snip feels it, for he stops his nervous circling and sits patiently beside Mr. Barrett's leg, looking up and waiting to be petted. Emeline is already prattling on about the pond and mermaids, and even fairies, which are a new interest. He nods down at her politely, not saying anything. Emeline, for goodness sake, take a breath. Didn't Mother ask you to help her with the blackberries in the kitchen? This morning, I had wanted to talk to Emeline about her tantrum the night before with the slamming doors, but when it came down to it, I couldn't figure out what I was trying to say. So I settled with, Emeline, have you been feeling quite all right lately? You like it here? She had looked at me as if I was asking her if the